Lloyd Vehicle Consulting. Still not sponsored by Lancaster Insurance. Maybe one day. Good afternoon. Today is the 25th of March and this is part 9 of a Slightly Shambolic Shuffle around the 2023 Practical Classics Classic Car and Restoration Show here at the NEC in Birmingham. I do apologise for all the background noise, music, if I get things wrong, which is happening all the time. I'm afraid it's just the way that it goes on this channel. So this is a 1986-87 Renault 11 GTL. This is the Renault Owners Club stand. And this is rather nice. These are extremely rare cars. I've actually driven one of these a little while ago. I think it was the same spec as this. It was a GTL of this kind of era. This is the final facelift look for the 11 and obviously its sister car, the 9. They were replaced, I think, around 1989 by the Renault 19. It could have been a little bit earlier than that. Some of the contrast is this Renault Aventime. I'm not allowed to call it an Aventime, despite the fact I've got a French degree. It is an Aventime. I don't know whether this is registered by Renault UK themselves. Most of them were, because the sales were really, really poor on these. But it's got the late kind of H plate on the front, which is Portsmouth. They used to come into the country in Southampton, which is also in the Portsmouth registration area. But it has the postcode and name of a dealer in Salisbury, so I don't know. But Salisbury, there's HY, it would have been maybe sort of HA, HB, something like that. The later H's are sort of Portsmouth, so who knows. But it's a very nice condition, very nice colour, and we do like this beige leather interior, viewers. We all don't like the noise in the background very much. We do like the beige leather interior. And it's got a rear wiper too, and somebody decided that they would tow with it, which is even more interesting actually. Again, a variation here is Renault 17 TL. This is wow, early for one. I think they came out about 1972. So 72, 73 registration on this. It's not perfect by any means. The paint's maybe original, I don't know. It's a very old car now, you can tell. There was also the Renault 15, which was the less powerful version of this, which had different bodywork on the side. And then we've got this, I think this is Renault 10 or something, this one. Might be wrong. No, I actually think it's an 8, this one. 8 Gordini. So starting 65. Right-hand drive is sort of unusual. The colour looks brighter actually on camera than it is in real life. It's a bit of a darker colour in real life. And then we've got some De Chevaux action here. Someone's got this Charleston boot, but this is a bamboo edition. I don't know what's going on with this, viewers. Who knows? So yeah, 87, 88. They're made in Portugal by this stage. Answer the comment section below. I'm not Ian Seabrook. And here is a Charleston. 83, 84. I think those would have the 602 by then. Now, have we seen this Ami before, viewers? 1967. I think these were just called the Ami Brake in France. Brake is a sort of general term for an estate car over there. Oh, this one's not got interior in it, okay. Yeah, crazy dash, of course, and the little mechanism there for adjusting the seat you can see on the floor. So, this is not Nakadian, this is oh gosh, I forget the name of these now. AK van, I don't know, it's a right-hand drive one though. So it'd be registered around 1977-78 on that plate there. Yeah. Ooh, and the modern classic executive cars group. I've been looking forward to this. 1988 Ford Sierra RS Cosworth. Don't mind if I do, viewers. I gather these are a bit difficult to drive if you're as devoid of skill for powerful rear-wheel drive cars that I am. And some of these are four-wheel drive, some are rear-wheel drive, of course. Oh, a Vauxhall Calibra. And it's a facelifted one. Very nice, viewers. This one looks like it has a beige leather interior, SE7, okay. I think they were up to SE9 at the end. So 1997, 2-litre, 16-valve auto, complete with beige leather interior. Excellent, viewers. I knew it wouldn't be too long before I saw another one of those. Astra G. Gosh, it's the first Astra G I've seen at a show like this. This is the Bertone convertible. It's a, did I say 2006? I didn't realise they made the Astra G convertible until 2006. I presumed it's when the twin top came in, because the G started to phase out in 2004, so quite a late one.
Hello.
Oh, hello!
You shoot crossover?
Yes. Just shambolically shuffling my way around as usual, my friend.
Found me stood by a Rover.
It's a very nice one. This is a very early 800. It's a D.
Sturdy, lovely.
I know. I'm getting too excited.
We're just filming each other.
How are you enjoying your non-shambolic non-shuffle so far?
Yes, I'm a gimbalist bimble at the moment. I'm just going full on.
It's not a gimbal bimble because there's no gimbal.
No, it's gimbalist.
Yes, indeed. Well, we shall see later, my friend. I've got someone who I've got somebody in here who'd like to see you. So
Okay.
we'll come and see you later. Bye. Right, viewers. Let Alex from Alex's Assets and Remy go off, and we'll have a look at this very, very nice Rover 825 Sterling. Now that is absolutely amazing. Very, very early Rover 800. 86 was the first year of production, and yes, Sterling was the absolute top of the range. Look at these amazing alloy wheels. Yes, I better leave you before I get too excited. Let's go somewhere else and calm down. Let's have a look at some SD1s. Right. So this one here, that'll be a facelifted one. I don't know what's going on with this. Actually, we can have a look at the engine, can't we? Oh, I know what that is. Just escape, viewers. That's that one is an engine we cannot talk about because we don't talk about diesels on this channel, thanks to the Ultra Emission Zone, Clean Air Zone, the Mayor of London and his friends all over the country. We can, however, have a look at this 1984 Rover 3500 Vitesse EFI manual. Now that is very tasty. Someone's even put some lights into the interior, I think, to make it look even better on video, which it does. So a look at some facelifted ones. Here is a pre-facelift SD1 in this amazing colour. I forget the name of this for the moment. Can't quite remember what this is called now, this colour. 7980 registration. Let's have a look inside. Yes, I think it's called the LT77, this gearbox from memory. It is a 2600. I think we've seen this before somewhere, but I can't remember when. There is that straight six engine. Right, let's go over there, shall we, and look at some more Rovers. Excellent, the Rover 200 BRM stand. Now, these were made from late 98 to, I think, early 2000, at least they were sold until then. This is a 99 to 2000 on V. They weren't very expensive for a long time, viewers, but now decent ones of these do command quite high premiums, and rightly so. They are amazing, lovely colour. You see some of the interior if we look through here. All this colour, inside and out. based on the Rover 200 VI, which I think is rarer now than the 200 BRM. This is what one looks like when it's been fully restored. Look at this, we've got the doors open there. You can see we've got red leather interior. Again, it's brighter on camera than it actually looks in real life. 143 brake horsepower, 1.8 K series engine, and of course the orange nose cone. Absolutely amazing, wonderful. Having driven a 200 VI recently, they probably drive a similar way. Right, viewers, we've got to be a bit careful with this streetwise because, yes, we hope this has got the right engine in it. Oh, someone's put a 160 in it. Oh, wow. That wasn't standard, viewers. You couldn't get the VVC engine. At this point, it was 158 horsepower. In the streetwise, but this one has had a conversion. Of course, it's just a Rover 225, MGZR, R8 200. They're all the same in terms of the sort of front structure, so you can just chop and change whatever engine you want. So that is a bit of a sleeper. Talking of the R8 200s, here are a couple of R8 200s. This is the later type. This will be a 1993, so it's actually when they started fitting the chrome grille up there to the car, just late 93. A 214 SLI. I've actually owned two R8 200s myself. They're both 216 SLI autos. That's the 214 manual. This is an earlier type of R8 here. It's a pre-facelift one. I think this one, Project Muriel, it's a 1990 214 SLI. Sold. Wow. Excellent. We can see the before and after as well. We've got some polishing going on. Gosh, the early SLIs had windy windows in the front. The GSIs that got them. So the early GSIs, I have driven an early GSI, and I think in this colour, and the later SLIs are all the same spec. Let's move on now to some Tomcats. We've got a lot of nice Tomcats here. This one, I think, has wheels off a later car. I'm not even sure those are actually any Tomcat wheels. This will be the this stage of Rover, the 1.6 or 1.8 coupe. That's what they were called at this time in about 1998. Earlier ones, of course, like this one, were known as the 200 coupe or 216. 220, depending on what engine you had in them. This one I'm not sure actually. It's probably a 220 most of them. It could be a turbo. I don't know, we'll have a look at the back. Turbo normally it will say. Yes, it is. Amazing. It's a very early one, that. It's from 92, 93. They came out in late 92. And we've got some more work in here. This has got the later dash. You can see here that's the earlier dash. And this has got the later dash in it. They changed the dash in 1995. I think, memory, this will be the 1.8 VVC engine. Could be wrong though, I get things wrong all the time, as you know. More Tomcat goodness here. Yes, earlier interior in this one. I wonder what engine we've got here. That, which is 220 turbo. Yes. And then we've got a sort of Monte Carlo one here as well. Having a bit of work, leaves underneath and all sorts of things. So the main colour is this sort of, I can't remember what this is called, this sort of greeny colour. We've got a different wing, a different door on it. Actually, that wheel's just a spare or something. I imagine that's probably a 220, but I could be wrong. Rover Sports Register stand here. Rover 9, be from the mid-20s. Oh, and a Leyland P76 Vitaga Florio edition. I think we saw this at Rover Fest 2022 last year, actually, this particular car. But not many P76s in this country. They weren't sold over here, of course. They were sold mainly in Australia and New Zealand. But yeah, this is about a 74, I think, this one. And then Rover 95. This is a very late P4. Obviously Alex, who you saw earlier from the Alex's Assets channel, she's had her P4 for a while, which I've driven before. I drove it in 2021. This is a later car than hers, so this is a 95. 64, which was the very last year they made the P4 shape. And of course I can actually smell the the car from here. They do smell rather nice, all that sort of wood and leather. 1947 Rover 12 Tourer. This is P2. The later ones, the sort of P3, and then the P4 was 75, which came out in 49. 1972 Rover P5B Coupe. I haven't actually driven a Rover P5B Coupe. It should be in this building somewhere. I can't remember exactly actually where it is. It is around here somewhere. The one that I drove. That's actually a press registration that Rover would have used at the time. XC were very popular, things like Range Rovers and things. There we go. Yes, it's very, very nicely appointed. They are amazing cars to drive, these. And we've got the Zircon Blue with a P6 here, just a 2000. This will be an early one actually, 1966. I don't think it's Shark's Tooth one, which is a little bit earlier than that. Just an SC. Actually, we've got some more P6s here as well. What's a very late one? I wonder if it's an S. Which is a 3500. It's an auto. Most of the 3500 in this country were, apart from the S's. Yeah, 3500. I think the last ones of these were registered about 1977. So 75, 76 plate. If we go round here, we can actually see. Oh look, he's back. Steve Denton with his Rover 2000 TC.
No, I don't.
Sir, right place, right time. 2 days in a row.
2 days in a row. So we're with the Rover P6 here.
It's a 67 2000 TC.
67 TC. Do you want to have a look round?
Yeah, do you want opening up?
Of course you can. You tell me where you want to look, and we'll look.
Have you got those fixed seat belts in this?
I've got the original seat belts. So
Yeah,
original.
yeah, I've used those.
Airborne.
I didn't get on with those very well.
Yeah. Airborne ones.
So how much more power does yours have than an SC?
Well, an SC is 100 brake horsepower, whereas a TC is 125, so 25 brake horsepower more.
So it's going to be a bit faster than what I drove then.
Yeah. I mean, you drove Alex's SC, which is also an automatic. This is a manual. Manual car inherently is going to be slightly quicker because it's old gearing and stuff like that. You know, different gears a bit quicker. You know, that's the way they are, type of thing. So, but yeah, I mean, we can have a little look round and leave the engine bay there if you like.
Thank you. I've only got hands is a little bit full at the moment. So we can see here the suspension layout, which is really unusual, isn't it, on these cars?
Unique to these cars. So it goes forward and backwards as opposed to up and down. As you see, I'm going for a little bit of a repaint underneath. This originally would be black. It will be black, hopefully by the time Lloyd looks at it. But yeah, it's got a few rare features on it, being an early twin carb car. So with these cars, I just can't get over how much you get for your money. You've got E-Type Jaguar carburetors, you've got an overhead cam engine, disc brakes at the back, and all this for between 2 and 5 grand. You can pick up one of these. Just cannot get over how cheap they are.
It's like P4s. They're stupidly underpriced at the moment. I don't really know why. Having driven one, obviously it was an auto, which people keep telling me are terrible. I don't think it was that bad. I mean, I've driven a lot worse cars in my life than those.
Yeah, you know, automatics aren't necessarily bad cars.
This is a bit faster, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. You know, horses for courses with everything. You know, one glove doesn't fit every hand. And that's the way you got to look at it. When you buy a car, you're buying a car for you and for what you want and your needs. And Alex's car, you know, she loves it. She's painted it.
Yeah, she's had it for years.
It's beautiful, doesn't it? It's an absolutely beautiful car. She's done a great job with it. You know, but I mean, I bought this car because I specifically wanted a 60s car. It had to be twin carburetor. I didn't care whether it was a automatic or whether it was manual. In some ways, I would have preferred it to be an automatic because I've got a TR6, a Dolomite, a Spitfire, this now. So it would have been nice for it to be an automatic so that I don't have to change gears. You know, have something a little bit different. But yeah, it's all right. You know, it's a job.
You're an MG and Triumph specialist mechanic, aren't you, Steve?
I am, yeah. I'll go around all the country as a self-employed mechanic doing MG and Triumphs. So you can find me, like I said, the names on there, you know, on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. You know, find me, look me up, and you know, within reason, from Northampton, I'll come out and look at anybody's car. You know, do whatever needs doing to them, within reason type thing. You know, I'm not going to look an engine out, but within reason. You know.
Thank you, sir. I'll let you get what we want you to do.
You enjoy the show.
Thank you.
Take care.
Right, so that's the second time we've seen Steve. Last time it was on the TR6 stand, today the P6 stand. And yeah, we talked earlier, I think, when we looked at one of these that was the sort of barn find section, the fact that they actually are just a sort of like a tub. So if you took these rear wings off, then you expose the sort of skeleton of the car, and it's very important that you look at this base unit prior to buying one to make sure that it's in okay condition. This one I think has got some work to do on it. Obviously you can drive them like this if you want. You can drive them without the sort of wings and things on them. Yeah, definitely you comparison with that side, the other side wasn't that good, was it? This is a 3500S actually. Yeah, it's interesting, it's sort of like a late Series 1. Federal spec is an American one, so it's a 69. We'll have a look over here as well at this other 3500. So yeah, Series 2, oh, it's a really late one, on an R, so one of the last ones made actually. Can't remember what this colour's called. I know the earlier sort of brown on these is called Rio Brown, I don't know what this one is. So we'll see Mr Coleman again in a second, British mechanic who's working on his Jeep. We'll have a look at some of these sort of dune buggies. So converted in 2001. All based of course on the Beetle chassis. They do look like fun V's actually. Can't remember what this kit's actually called. Often with the registration, this says December 71, that would be the donor car, rather than when the car was converted. You get this For Your Eyes Only vibe, because we had a couple of those in For Your Eyes Only. Look at that exhaust. Now that's very 70s, isn't it? It's very 70s in this sort of sparkly paint job. Well, how many YouTube crossovers do we want today? We've already had 2 in this part. Please don't touch. Okay, well, that's having a bit of work done. We see the back of 2.5 Amiga here. Mr Coleman will let me have that chair in a second so I can have my lunch. Okay, next stand. So, another P6 club here, P6 Owners Club. 1972, 3500S, yes, manual, Davos White. Oh, that is really nice actually. That's a beautiful car. Got all kinds of merchandise and things here. We'll go around to see some of the others. Oh, it's an early one, isn't it? Yes, it's 64, wow. Gosh, it's just 1 year after they came out. An XC, a suffix that was used a lot by Rover at the time. 2000 TC. This was at the October Earlscourt Motor Show in 1964. Wow. That does look pretty good. And then we've got one from New Zealand here. 71 New Zealand 2000 automatic. As Steve and I were discussing earlier on, I have driven a 2000 automatic owned by Alex, Alex's assets, who we saw earlier. A lot of the books and things will tell you that they are really terrible. I mean, they're slower than a TC, of course they are, but I didn't think it was that bad. I've driven so many worse cars than that, but they're nice and relaxing to drive. Engine, of course, in this is another 2000 TC, not used as far as I went any other car. That looks nice in there, doesn't it? TC's had a different dash in them. Beautiful. Let's have a look at some Jowetts whilst we're here as well. Saw a Jowett Javelin earlier on in the barn find area. This is the Javelin Jupiter, which is the sports version of Javelin. This one here, what year is this? It doesn't actually say. Sometimes they don't say. This is a Jowett Bradford. Yes, my grandmother used to have one of these. This is a 52. Very different in design from the Javelin and the Jupiter, but no doubt kept in production because these would have actually been a profitable car to build as opposed to the Jupiter and the Javelin, which I don't think were really. It's one of the main reasons the company went under. Well, another Javelin here. Careful, trip over. Here we go. And then, 51, judging by that receipt. Unique engine, actually. Flat twin, as you can see there. That's quite handy, actually. You can see the engine just there. And a much older Jowett here. What? So it's a 27 long 4 Toro. I like this stand. There's loads of space to walk around the cars. It's always a good thing for me. So Morgan Sports Car Club stand here. 2009 Morgan Plus 4. I mean, you would know looking at it. It was a 2009, would you? It's got the 2-litre Ford Duratec in it. I think that's the same one that's used in the contemporary Mazda MX-5 from memory. It's an interesting combination. It's an all English white with leather interior. Morgan 3-wheeler here. Now, what year is this? 30s maybe? It's a 36. Sometimes I do surprise myself, viewers, with getting things right because we get so many things wrong. Yeah, the earlier 3-wheelers, the engine sort of was even further forward than the actual sort of grill was. There's a little 3-wheeler chassis there. Oh, gosh, the engine's quite far forward, isn't it? It's almost ahead of the front wheels. Morgan Plus 4 drop head coupe 1952, 2-litre 2.1 Triumph engine. I imagine that's the same one as in the things like the Renault and those big sort of square saloons. Oh, and yes, here's one we've seen many times before actually. This car seems to be at every single show I come to, this particular car. 2010 Morgan 4 Sport 1.64 Sigma, same one as in the contemporary Focus. Right, I think that's it for part 9 of the Slightly Shambolic Shuffle around the 2023 Practical Classic Car Restoration Show here at the NEC. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the comment below, and we shall see you again soon for more incorrect information.